Welcome back to another episode of Made in Asia, a podcast series by Lifestyle Asia that aims to connect the cultural dots and communities in Southeast Asia through storytelling. This episode is in collaboration with JisuLife, where we spotlight strong women and explore how they navigate life's pressures, not by controlling everything, but by finding ways to center themselves within it. With us today is Singapore's national record holder for women's 100-meter hurdles, Kerstin Ong. Welcome on the show.
Hello.
So let's start from the very beginning. How was growing up for you? Have you always been an active, athletic person?
Yeah, I've always been running around a lot, but I never think that I would ever become an athlete.
Okay.
I've always just been very playful. So then when I was 10 years old, my primary school teacher told me hey, why not you go and try track and field?
Yeah.
Because I'm always playing catching during recess time. So okay, sure. An opportunity to get out of school earlier, sure, I'll go for it. And that's how my journey actually started.
Yeah, so that comes to my next question, because you mentioned that you joining the Singapore Sports School was a lucky stumble.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about
really
how that
is,
all started? Yeah.
My whole journey is really everything's such a lucky stumble. When I was 12 years old, that we will go for your DSA to enter into secondary school. So I DSA into every other school that all rejected me. And then sports school, there was a trials on a Saturday which clashes in my Chinese tuition. So I'm I'm signing up for that. I don't even know what was sports school back then. I was 12 years old. What do I know, right?
Yeah.
So I signed up for it and somehow made it through a few rounds. Towards the last few trials, I actually got rejected in the 100 meters because I started as a 100 meter. So how my hurdles journey even began was because there was an empty slot in hurdles.
Right.
And
because it's
no other
always
school but me, right?
the less popular option, right? Because it's tougher.
Yes, correct. So,
Yeah.
I didn't have any other options. So I'm I will do that. Then I went to sports school without even knowing how to hurdle.
Okay.
And it's really the coaches there that taught me and the environment that I was in, and I realized that I really like this sport.
And usually when you are in school, sports is just that extracurricular activity that you take part for merits or points, university applications.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, right, usually people will just give it up. A lot of people will just
Honestly,
give it up. But what kept you going?
Yeah, I think actually that's what most people do. Honestly, even for me, I used my sports to enter into university, and I thought let me just run for the school and just see how things go.
Yeah.
Once I start work, 100% I'm gonna quit the sport.
Yeah.
Then when the time comes, I realize I can't let go of this. I still got a lot more inside me that I want to go on. I still feel like I can improve a lot more. So I thought, you know what, let me just give it a shot working and training and see how that goes. So I went into every single job interview telling them that I want to start work at 10:30 a.m. so I can go for my training first. Can you all support me on that? And the ones who said yes, and I aligned with the company, and it worked out.
And you did all of that conventional route, of getting a degree, double major, no less, a stable job, and then everything that's expected of an Asian household.
Yes.
But what drives you into what you are today?
I just really think there's something in me that burns so strongly in this passion for my sports, and I just feel like I can't let it go. And that said, being a sportsman in Singapore is very, very tough. So that's why you still need your education. That's why you still need your job as well. And I wanted to show to people that it's actually possible to still do well in your studies and still do sports, to still do well in your job and still do sports.
As an athlete in Singapore, how do you see the kind of support that you get? Is it sufficient?
100% no.
What kind of support you actually feel could be better, or could be improved?
Okay, there are some support, stuff access to gym, high performance kind of gyms. There are certain equipments they have in the gym that we don't see it in any other gyms in Singapore, which is very, very helpful. We have access to even physios, psychology support, nutrition support. But apart from all of this, I think the one really big thing that we really need is fundings, fundings for us to go overseas for competitions or training. And that aspect is still definitely still not enough. There is some, but definitely not enough. But then I don't want, just cause of not enough support, then it hinders me from my own opportunities.
Of course, yeah. Speaking about support, you describe yourself as a corporate girl / athlete,
Yes.
which I think a lot of people find very fascinating. When did that dual identity start to feel real for you?
I mean, that's always very real, especially when I started working, because you see all these people don't have this kind of commitments. They really just wake up, get their coffee, wash up, take the train down to office and start their day. And by the time I enter the office, I'm like, I've gotten my training out already. I washed up, I come down to work, and I've already completed so much in the morning when everyone else has just started their day. And when they finish work, they can chill, go back home, watch the TV, or go meet their friends. But for me, I'm making up the hours from the mornings I've missed.
Yeah.
And once work is done, it's just home for me. So I realized like, wow, I'm actually leading a very different life from everyone else in office. But it's also very intentional, because this is the journey I chose, and this is the kind of life I want. Because I want to pursue sports, but we also still need to work to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing everything I can to balance this. And I also wanted to let people realize that if you have a goal you want to reach, if you put your mind to it, you can actually make it work. So be it maybe they want to take part in like high rocks, or like be it whether they want to just be able to complete a 10 km run, or just go to a yoga class like once a week. Just want to make them realize that actually it's very possible as long as they adjust their schedule and be disciplined on it.
Let's be honest, I don't think a lot of people can do what you do.
Can.
It's hard.
It's just whether they want to or not. But you do need to have a very strong mind, like very, very, very strong mind.
Yeah.
And this whole journey is really because I want to do it, not because anyone else tells me to do it, but because this is what I want to do. That's why I take charge and take responsibility in all the things, like in the sport and work.
Speaking about your training, you wake up early to train, and then back then you had to go straight into work.
Yeah.
Were there times that you were like, oh my god, like I want to give up?
Of course, man. Like, yeah. I think I started working in 2021. So it was like a good trying for 1.5, 2 years. December 2022, I thought of like, you know what, maybe it's time I quit the sport. And I just walked past a tarot reading. So funny, I don't ever do tarot reading.
Okay.
Then I asked them, should I continue in my sport? And I already made up my mind, like, I think I should quit. And they said, like, you should stay on. Then I cried there. Oh my gosh, I sound like a crybaby now. I keep crying.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah.
I cried because I knew deep inside me I wanted to go on.
Right.
But it's because I'm not getting the results, and people were also telling me that, like, how long more you want to go on? Like, you're not here, not there, just quit already. So I felt like I was being pressured into quitting, but when deep inside me I wanted to go on. So when the tarot reading said you should go on, like, it spoke what I really, really wanted inside me, but I didn't dare to admit to people. So then I decided, you know what, let me just go on another year, fully giving my best and being like really dare to tell people, yes, I'm really trying this fiercely. And a few months later, then I broke my personal best when I haven't broke it in like 9 years.
Wow.
And then the journey started.
Yeah.
From 2023 until now. So if I quit then, I would have just been,
Yep, you wouldn't know.
I would never have held a record.
Yeah.
So it's very nice to know that, like, this really went on, and it has, I'm seeing like the success of it.
Do you feel like you had to sacrifice a lot? What kind of big sacrifices are we talking about?
I mean, of course, the biggest sacrifice is always like funding, like that's number one. But apart from that, it's really like time from like your family and loved ones. Yeah.
I think that's how it is for a lot of athletes as well, right? They need to sacrifice like time with family.
Correct.
Like also important days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've missed like a lot of my friends' like weddings because I'm just out of town. And also saying no to a lot of appointments just because you need to rest. So my whole routine is really just training and clearing my work and resting.
But is so far you feel very happy with your decision, I believe?
Yeah, I'm happy because I just don't want to like look back and wish I tried giving my all in the sport. Because even by then, like what, maybe I'm 40, my mind wants, my pocket also has the money, but then my body can't do it anymore, you know. So I'd rather just to be able to do it now while I still can.
And maybe that's why your parents are very supportive of your decision now?
My parents are the one who tell me quit my work and pursue your sports. So they became like a pretty strong cheerleader for me in the recent years. Not when I was in school, not when I was, not when I was in school, but when I'm working. Because they realized like, wow, until now I still want to do it. Means I must be like real about it. And they feel that I should just go out, you know. And if my parents are okay with it, then I'm gonna go for it. And that's why I left my job.
So, Kirsten, what is something about your life right now that people might not fully see from the outside?
Wow, it gets very crazy. Behind all these like happy smiles, there's a lot of like sad moments and a lot of like lonely moments. Oh my god, what if I cry on the screen? Yeah, this whole journey is really very, very tough lah. Especially after like a race and like there's a setback. For example, like last year, Games, I thought I broke the record. I knew I broke the record, but the record was subsequently being removed because there was some electronic issues like the whole day, and they decided to not recognize the times that were recorded. It's just things that were not in my control.
What was going through your head when that happened?
Sucks, right? Like, I trained all year.
Yeah,
Took me
for
10
this.
years to qualify for this competition.
Yeah.
And at the biggest stage, I wanted to do my best to have my best record, best result recorded. It was taken away. It was a bit unfortunate, but then again, this is not in my control. I just gotta look ahead because I know that wasn't gonna be my last. I knew I was gonna break a record again, which I did it again like a few weeks ago. Yeah.
You were confident.
Yeah,
You
I was
knew.
confident. I knew like my journey has only just started. And I know there's still a long journey ahead of me. I still got so much more to achieve.
Wait, how many times have you broke the national record actually in total?
So officially only twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I equaled once, I broke once, and I broke it again a few weeks ago. So that Games would have also been a record. But because it was not official, I will not say that I've broke it lah. I was like, shit lah. I cannot buy a new iPhone.
Is that what you were?
Yeah, because like we get like bonus payout. Okay, it's not that much. We get like 1,000 for every record, like every national record broken. But I'm like, cannot buy an iPhone 17 Pro Max.
So you just went on and break the next record.
I was like, break it again, it's okay. Yeah.
Actually, how competitive are you?
Pretty competitive.
What I'm getting is like, oh, it's okay if I don't do well, I'll pick it up again as long as I pick it up again. You
Yeah,
know.
make sure I
Very
pick
positive
myself
on the
up.
outside, but you're
Yeah.
beating yourself on the inside, I believe.
Yeah, actually, like before the race, I broke the record. 2 or 3 days ago, I was in Australia and I didn't run well. When I'm expected to break the record in Australia already, and I'm like, oh no, I'm only down to 2-3 days to readjust for like our biggest competition in Singapore with like international athletes flying in.
Yeah.
And I have to do well. But I was actually very mentally affected from like the race, and I only had 2-3 days to readjust myself.
Yeah.
But this is what we have to do.
It's the reality, right?
Yeah. If I enter into the race with such poor mentality, then I know the race is gone. But if you enter the race with like your strong mentality, then it's half the battle won already. Yeah.
The struggle is real.
But we'll make it work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We also know that in this sports industry, age is also a very like important thing, right?
Yes.
Like and you say like your journey has just started. Do you feel like there's more years for you to
Yeah.
keep going, or like, oh, you only have a few years left? Will that affect you also?
Sports, honestly, there's only a few years, and that's why I thought like I'm actually also getting on age. I've only got a few more good years, and that's why I decided to go in, focus a bit more on my sport, being more intentional, like stepping away from my corporate job. I know I got at least 3 more good years. Sounds very little, but like that means I'll be like early 30s, which a lot of Singaporeans will have stopped. But I wanted to still tell people like it's still possible, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna make the
watch
most
me.
out of it.
Yeah, watch
Yeah.
me. 3 more years.
And like, do you always like feel the pressure to perform your best? Especially right now, you're a record holder, you know, joining the greats of all the amazing athletes like Shanti Pereira and the rest.
She is next level, okay? She is next level.
You are on road.
It's a very different level. Of course, to want to perform, because I have goals I want to reach, and we have a deadline as well. I just raced 2 days ago actually. I didn't do very well. Coming out from a national record breaking race,
Yeah.
I didn't do very well. It doesn't feel good, of course, but I tell myself that, of course, we can't be at our best all the time. So what I'm trying to actively do this year, since I got a bit more time to be with myself and just be more present, is like trying to celebrate every little wins. Although I broke the record like a few weeks ago, it's still far from whatever I want to achieve. But instead of like, I haven't achieved my main goal, I tell myself instead like I should celebrate this success, which is really celebrating little moments along the way.
You mentioned earlier about experiencing imposter syndrome. How does that show up for you? Like, do you still feel it a lot these days?
I think it was worse when I had my job. Now it's a lot better because my main priority right now is just sports. Being a good daughter, that's about it. But in the past, I was like trying to juggle like these two lives. One is the corporate side, one is like the athlete side, and both is very demanding. Some days I feel like coming into office.
Oh, you have a third full-time job, family.
Oh yeah,
being a daughter.
Yeah, correct. Not being a really good one when I'm like away all the time. Yeah, but I think like when I was in my office job, there was quite a bit of imposter syndrome, needing to please client, managing like the deadlines, that pressure as well, working with vendors as well, trying to balance all of this. When sometimes I just want to like say that I can't cope, I can't do this, but I can't. I don't ever say that I can't do it. Yeah. So sometimes it's feeling like I just can't throw in the towel. I just gotta keep delivering.
Yeah. I mean, like, since becoming a full-time athlete, what have you enjoyed the most?
Wow. Being able to go off whenever I want to.
Don't have to apply leave anymore.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most when you travel, actually?
Training with people better than you. That's very important. The places I go to, they are all way better than me.
Where have been some of the best places you've been to?
I've been going up to Hong Kong a lot. I mean, Europe, of course, they are really strong and all, but I feel like within Asia, closer, same time zone, not as expensive, and they are already better than us. So I can just look within our neighboring countries.
And also before like a run, before a race, what comes with the preparation? Like, what do you do to prepare yourself before a race?
So the week, I have to make sure that I'm not being packed too much. I need things to be a lot more calm, so that I'm not too flustered every day, right? And also making sure my sleep and recovery is important. Weird thing is, I guess I do eat fast food on the week of my race. I know it's terrible decisions, but it's been working out for me somehow.
Okay.
And like I have a certain routine on the day of my race.
Okay.
And I do it in a certain way.
Okay.
But I will not share the jinx.
Okay. So
I've never shared. But I have a certain routine. But it's always making sure I have my coffee, doing a bit of foam rolling, stretching, making sure I moved a bit, clock a certain amount of steps before my race.
Okay. So what are your must-haves at the track?
Oh, I have certain things I must have.
Yeah.
Like certain socks, certain innerwears. I need to have my umbrella and my Jisu fan with me.
Okay.
So it's very, very important because the weather is very hot. When I run, because I run is only a few seconds, it's like all out sprint. But when I rest, it's a good like 10 minutes per repetition. Under the sun, I need to cool myself down. And then like my competitor actually saw, and then they take it from me and sell, and they will use it as well. And I told them like, hey, this is a very smart idea, right?
You also mentioned off screen just now where the sound actually calms you down.
Yes, okay, because when honestly in competitions, it's very, very, very stressful. And when you're seeing all your competitors together warming up, my heart rate is very, very high. But then there is a sound when we turn on the fan, and that is at a constant speed. So that helps to bring my heart rate down to a bit more zen.
How long is actually training for you every day? Like, we're talking about 4 hours, 5 hours?
One session is 3 hours. So if some days I train twice, then 6 hours lah. But I don't train twice every day. I train about 9 times a week.
9 times a week?
So some days are double. Yeah, but it's every day.
Okay. So what do you do to reset? Especially when after a race or after a stressful day, or like when you're not performing?
Things I really love is just being able to have an afternoon to myself having coffee. Just being zen, relaxed, smelling coffee, people watching, hearing the sound. And do you know why this is so important? Because honestly, on day-to-day, I don't ever really have time to sit down and drink a coffee. My coffee is always like on the way to training. It's just very rush. So if I have that moment to just really sit down and drink a coffee, it really calms me down because it's not something I can have a lot of times.
Actually, come to think about it, I feel like I'm using coffee as an excuse to stop.
Reset?
To reset, you know, like if you're traveling, like, okay, coffee time is the time you like, you get to sit down and like play your phone a little bit to kind of like,
just like
chill a little bit.
Yes. I think those are moments that really calms me down.
I mean, like, speaking about energy, like, you do push yourself through exhaustion, I believe. What have you learned over the years of, like, you know, during your training and all that about yourself?
You have to rest when you need to. Honestly, if you push yourself too much and you get burnout, or if you're pushing yourself through injury, it will be so much worse because you'll be out for a longer period. Sometimes you've got to slow down, rest for a bit so you can go further. So I learned that over the years.
And you also been very honest about burnout. Was there a moment where you realized like, oh, this is too much? Yeah.
So in the past, people will find it so funny, but I said I hated running because I was so fixated on the result. But now I really enjoy training because I'm being really present in all these moments, and I realize it's very important to enjoy the journey because one day everything is going to end and results are never guaranteed. Am I going to look back and feel that I hated the whole journey or that I enjoyed it? So I decided to enjoy the whole process of it.
I mean, looking back, like especially when you are facing these setbacks, right? What would you normally tell yourself?
There will be an end to this. I don't know. In the end, there's never an end. Like I guess I look forward to days when I can actually just be with myself, no deadline to rush.
I mean, I'm getting a lot of like independence, like from you, like very independent, self-sufficient. You know, you're okay to be on your own.
No.
Very strong.
No, of course not. There are moments where like I needed an outlet to share about all this. I tapped into like friends, you know, to just throw it out, vent it out, bounce off a bit of like how I feel about the whole race, and then I reset myself.
Is this journey lonely?
Oh, very lonely. So lonely, honestly. It is lonely. But when I'm overseas, of course, when I'm all alone, no family, no friends with me there, we tap into like the training partners from Hong Kong. Like people are very nice there as well. They do bring me out for like meals, you know. And then when they came over to Singapore, I bring them out for meals. So it's a very nice friendship to have as well.
Yeah, you kind of built like a family out of
Yes, really. Yeah.
the sport itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I keep going back to the same place as well.
Yeah, and I feel like they can also be very empathetic with how you feel because they have probably felt or experienced something similar, right?
I mean, they are also training. Just having a whole bunch of people pushing each other together is very, very nice.
How have you redefined success for yourself over time?
I think I've redefined success as not comparing myself or my own achievements with others. Focus on just getting better every day for myself. And I also realized when you ask me this kind of question, I realized, oh yeah, actually, I've been doing all this little stuff along the way.
I think sometimes we're just so caught up in the moment. Yeah, and we are like just running and running and running and running.
Correct.
You know, you never had that time to kind of like pause and like wonder, actually, or kind of like think about what has happened and the different processes. Yeah, now you're kind of like processing your feelings and processing your experiences.
Which I guess I usually don't do it as often. So when we are talking about this, I realize, oh yeah, there's a lot of reflection as well in my journey.
Yeah, I think you've done that very well. If you're not running, right, what other sports do you think you'd be in?
I like badminton.
Oh?
And I know you like badminton as well, but I'm not very good in badminton, but I like badminton. I also like swimming, but swimming is so tough.
Yeah.
It's so competitive. And I also like cycling. Yeah.
Not pickleball?
I mean, oh yeah, and pickleball. Yeah, I started that recently. Correct.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed it. I guess like a lot of sports outside of my own sport is also very enjoyable because there's not as much pressure. Like, I also still want to be decently good in it, but of course I will never be as good as like the pros and like the national athletes. And I guess that's why it's also quite fun because there's no pressure in it.
Yeah. But what would you consider your biggest takeaway from sport? What has sport taught you?
Wow, discipline and also being very intentional in achieving my own goals. Because all of this path I took is all things that I own self planned and I work towards it.
And that's very good. Intentional is such a strong, big word that I think a lot of people forget, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, oh, you think this is the only thing you can do. Especially when you are a sportsman or you dabble into sport at a very early age and your life is pretty much that sport, but you forget about the intentional part of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not just sports, right? Like everything you do, doing things with intent, in work, at home, for your walks, your interaction with people, just having a lot more intent in everything you do.
Is there something new or exciting that you are working towards now, besides trying to break another record?
In sports, I'm trying to qualify for the Asian Games. That's happening this year, September. So I still have a bit more to go to qualify. I still have a bit more to cut.
Yep.
So that's my big goal. And that's why I decided to leave my job last year actually. For 1 year, I knew this was a perfect timeline.
And of course, you went into content creation as well.
Yes.
Most recently.
Yeah, but that is something I put in a lot more effort now that I have time. I enjoy going out there, take video, take photos, trying to improve a bit more of my videography skills as well, and trying to see what kind of content resonates with people, and also sharing out my story out there to the public.
Have you always seen yourself being a content creator?
Maybe low-key, yes. Maybe low-key, yes. But now I finally have the time to actually really properly explore.
Right. Well, I remember seeing one of your, storytelling that you posted on Instagram, telling people about your story and how you juggle between corporate life and running. What do you feel when people responded so well to your video back then?
It's very nice to know that I can inspire others to go and achieve their own goals. Can be little goals in their own journey, or also just to get them to be a bit more active in their life, because I think that's quite important for your own health even. It's nice that like parents tells me that I'm an inspiration for their kids even, and like kids look up to me. I think it's a very heartening moment to have.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe your journey right now?
9. Very fulfilling, because Asians don't ever say 10. But it's been very fulfilling, and I really, really enjoy every day that I do.
And we are reaching the tail end of our podcast. What would you like to say to the fellow Gen Zs or aspiring athletes and other young people out there who are trying to navigate through the many obstacles of pressure, burnout, self-doubt in their lives, especially when having to juggle like more than 2 things at once?
I think that's very common, right? Like in our Singapore context, them juggling like school and sports, or like work and something else as well. But don't ever let the self-doubt creep into you, and just have faith in yourself. And if you have something that you really have so much passion for it, go for it.
Just go for it.
Yes, really. If you really have passion, just don't give up your dreams, and just find ways to make it work, because it's really possible.
Okay, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.